Hey guys, Mr. Code Shorts here. Today, what we are going to be looking at are the most common data types in Python. So, starting with the string. The string is text. It cannot be subtracted, divided, etc., because it is just text. There can be numbers in here because we can use text and numbers in usual human dialogue, say like that. However, it will not add together like some of these later numeric types. Strings are always defined using a single or double quote, but only as a pair. So if you use a single quote on one side, you have to use a single quote on the other side. Okay, so numeric types. Numeric types, there are two other common ones. They are integers and floating point numbers. Integers are the set of whole numbers from negative infinity to infinity. Basically, this means that they are not fractions and that they do not have decimal points. If you tell Python to get an integer of 1.03, it'll return you 1. Now, floating point numbers are the same as integers, however, they can have decimals, and they commonly do. That's the point of a floating point number. All right, next on are the sequence types. Sequences are just kind of like a bucket with multiple little pieces put in it that are all related to each other, like a list. A list is just as it says. It can have multiple different data types, whether it's a string or an int or a float or whatever it needs to be. The big deal being with lists in Python is that you can iterate through them. So like down here, I have said for x in simple list, print x. Basically, it will print A, then print B, then print C, or print 1, excuse me, in order. This allows you to, say, print through a list of people's names if you needed to for some reason in a program. A tuple, as shown down here, instead of using brackets, uses parentheses. And this is a way of storing data that is less changeable. You can iterate through lists, you can change, I could say change B without changing A or 1 in a list, while in tuples, you cannot iterate through them. So you cannot say for X in the tuple print X. So a lot of tuples are used for constants that you do not want to be as easily changed or messed with in your program. Now, moving on to a dictionary. This is a mapping type. Basically, this uses a key and an answer pair to reveal data. So, like here, I have the first key set using a colon to the integer 10, and because I have another key and answer pair, I put a comma behind it. I set key number 2 to fish using a colon, that is a string, the word fish, and because that is the end or the last key in the dictionary, there is no comma behind it. And this is kind of like a list that has been made a little bit more powerful. It can store a lot more data, a lot more easily. You can add key pairs, remove key pairs, change what key pairs are equal to, make them equal to nothing, etc. They're much more versatile. Now, Boolean types. Booleans are basically a way of using data that can only be one thing or another. It could only be true or it can only be false. This is useful for making switches, whether something being on or off. So like if I look down here, I had it print everything. And if I clear it again, for the sake of simplicity, it prints the string, prints our integer, prints our floating point number, then it goes through our list, and then our tuple, and then going through the dictionary, and then the Boolean. All right, thanks guys. Hope you learned something today. Always remember to like and subscribe, and come back every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Central for a new Code Shorts video.